want to spend a minute on the awk command. And awk is a very powerful language. We're not going to focus on all of it. We're just going to focus on some of the basics that we use it for. You could actually spend a whole class on it. I mean, it's like a programming language. You could do a ton of stuff with it. But we're just going to use it to format output to print only certain columns of text. So here's some examples, and then we'll do some. Let me talk through it. So print out etc password, and then we just pipe it to the awk command. And there's lots of different ways of doing things in Linux. This is one way of doing it. So catting out etc password, piping it to the awk command, and then inside of single quotes and these curly braces, we will say print $1. What that says is print the first column of the output. Now, how does it determine the first column? In this particular case, it's just whatever is separated by white space. So I'm going to just copy this, and we'll just do these as we go through here. So cat etc password, oops, sometimes the quotes don't copy correctly, so we'll just change those. So in this case, okay, so I said print on the white space, or separate on the white space. Well, if you look at etc password, there is no white space in there. That's exactly what the lines look like. So I'm going to say separate it on the colon. And as soon as I do that, okay, so look at the original, or even just cat etc password, it's the same thing. You can see that I have these separators here. I've got this colon there, I've got another colon, so forth and so on. I want to separate based on the colon, and so on this awk command, I say cat it out, but then separate it based on the colon and print the first column. If I wanted to print the second column, I can change that to a 2, and you can see it prints the second column in that file, which of course was an X. If you wanted to do the third column, it would give you that, fourth, so on and so forth. So that's the first way we'll look at that. So similarly here, I can do the ls-l command, and it's the exact same as up above, but so to the ls-l command, give me the first and third column of whatever that prints out. Now by default, since I didn't pass in the -f there, this will print on the white, based on the white space. So ls-l, and now we will awk, and I'll just type in here, print $1, $3. Now you can see it did the first column. So this is the first column, and then the third column, which is that. Now it printed out exactly that. It didn't even put any spaces in between. So I would say put a space in between, or something in between, and that's how that would work. Let's go back and look at some other examples. I'm not going to do all these, but so the ps command, print out the first column that's separated by white space. If you want to put other stuff in that, as you saw me do just a second ago, we can put whatever we want in here in quotes. The group is something, you know, and then it prints out right here whatever I put in quotes. I could say even before that, I could do it twice. You know, the permissions are this, however you want it to print out, and the group is whatever. So you can add stuff into the awk command. Okay, a couple more examples real quick. So we did the separate. If there's some other separator you want to separate it by, you put that separate in there. You can also combine it with regular expressions, and you need to go watch the regular expression video where I talk about regular expressions to do that. You'll also note that I'm not doing the cat command. Notice I was doing cat etc fstab, and then I was piping it to this. Well, some of the commands we just did, let me just go back to this earlier one here where I did this cat etc password like that, print, let's just change it back to print $1, is I get a lot of things in Linux can be done various ways. So I can say this is the exact same command as the earlier one. So there's the cat command, and then if I want to do the, I don't know where the awk one went, but we did it a second ago. Apparently, if I want to do that command, it does the exact same thing. So look at this last line. So we can use it in conjunction with regular expressions, and regular expressions was in an earlier video. But you need to, this refers to, says search for the line that has the UUID on it, and then print out the third column. Once again, it's filtered by white space, or it's will separate on the white space. So here's an example of that. So this one says, okay, split on the colon, search for the user Joe, has to start with Joe in the output, and then we'll print out first column with that content in it out of Etsy password, and then I'll hit enter, and there we go. So you can get very complicated. You can put more regular expressions in there. Just incidentally, instead of, if I didn't like this, if I didn't like to search for that same thing, you could do something like password, and maybe we'll just that line gives me the line Joe, so I could pipe it. Now I could pipe to awk minus f, separate it on the colon, and then print, whatever, and I could put that same output in there if I wanted to. So you can see there's multiple ways of doing things. Just whichever's more comfortable to you is the way you want to do it.